Hey guys, Sarah from ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we have a review and install of the Barricade Extreme HD front bumper fitting your 07 through 18 Jeep Wrangler JKs. This bumper features a heavy-duty 3/16 steel plate construction with a wrinkle black finish. It's sure to add protection as well as functionality to your Jeep while giving it that rugged aftermarket look. This bumper includes D-rings that are rated up to 9,500 pounds, as well as 7/8 D-ring mounts. It also includes a winch plate designed to hold a winch that's rated up to 12,000 pounds, and also features some tabs for the addition of lighting down the road. Coming in at around $500, this bumper is middle of the road price-wise. However, it does include a lot of the features of more expensive bumper options, so you are getting quite a bit of bang for your buck. I'm giving this install a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It does feature a bolt-up installation, however you may need to extend your fog light wiring harness slightly in order to reach the fog lights all the way out here. But this can be done in about an hour. Let's go ahead and check out what we need to do to install. For this install we used a deep and shallow 18mm socket, a 3-inch extension, 7mm wrench, the included Allen key, a Phillips head screwdriver, 3/8 drive ratchet, and some optional but helpful tools include an impact gun with a Phillips head socket and an electric ratchet. Alright, so the first step in our uninstall is to remove your factory splash guard and top cover if you still have them. You can do this by removing the factory pop clips. Now, since our Jeep does not have these installed, we can go into the second step, which is to disconnect the factory fog lights. Pressing on the tab on your factory connector, remove it from your fog light. Remove your other connector from your fog light. Disconnect your fog lights by removing the factory connector. So the next step is to remove the 8 18mm nuts that hold your bumper to your Jeep. There will be 4 on each side. With your 18mm socket, remove these nuts. With all 8 nuts removed, we can now pull the bumper off of our Jeep. So now that our factory bumper is off of our Jeep, I did want to point out something here. Our new Barricade bumper relocates your fog lights from the inside of the frame rail to the outside. So in this situation, you may need to extend your wiring harness a little bit in order to get the connector that far out. But ours was already done on our Jeep, so we're going to roll into the next step. Now that we have our factory bumper uninstalled from our Jeep, we can put it side by side with our Barricade bumper and really check out some of the differences. Now, our Barricade bumper is constructed from heavy-duty plate steel, which is a nice upgrade from the plastic of our factory bumper. Now, our Barricade bumper allows you to retain all of the functionality of your factory bumper, including the 2 recovery points at the front with the addition of the D-rings. This also has some added features like our winch mount as well as our mounts for lighting, and it allows you to retain your factory fog lights. Speaking of those fog lights, let's see how we install them now. So to remove our fog lights from our factory bumper, we're going to remove the 4 screws at the back of each fog light. You can do this with a Phillips head socket, or if you don't have one, a Phillips head screwdriver will work. Let's get these out. At this point, we have to install these brackets in order to mount our fog lights. We're going to do this with the included hardware. Line up the bracket with the flat side against your bumper. Grab the small hardware and thread these in. Once you have both threaded in loosely, you can tighten them down with the included Allen key. You may want to hold up your fog light and make sure that it's hitting in the right spot to mount in these two places. So while it's still loose, grab your fog light and just double check that all the holes are going to line up. And if you need to adjust it up or down, you have that area. Once you've double checked fitment, you can now tighten it down the rest of the way. With our bracket fully mounted, we can now bolt up our fog light. Grab the same hardware you used to bolt the bracket up. And also grab one of the small nuts and another washer for the other side. Tighten this down with a 7mm wrench and the included Allen key. Again, you just want to go snug here and not completely tight so that you can make sure the other holes on your fog light line up. Once you have that started, grab your 7mm wrench and the included Allen key and get this tight. Once the other side is complete, repeat those steps on this side. With our fog lights installed, we can now install these mounting plates right behind this mounting point on our bumper. Tuck it through and make sure both threads are through these holes. Once you do that, you want to grab one of these plastic retainers and thread it over your bolt. Repeat that with the other one. All right, now we can get our bumper bolted up to our Jeep. You may want to grab a friend for this step. With the studs through, place your washer, lock washer, and then thread your nut over top. If the stud on top is not coming through or vice versa, and you can get hardware on the bottom, tighten this down so that your top stud will clear. With our stud clear, get your hardware on, and then you can tighten this one down as well. Using an 18mm socket, tighten these down. Now we can plug in our fog lights. All right, with the bolts in our bumper tight, we can now install our D-rings, the final step in our install. Line them up with the ring mounts here, and slide this through and thread it on. But that will do it for the review and install of our Barricade bumper. Remember, for all things Jeep, keep it at ExtremeTerrain.com.